right, Mark, one of my favorite questions is about influencers because sometimes they're in a second, sometimes they're long term. I know, quick story, my grandfather was one of my first influencers. He's from Kyiv, as is my mother, my grandmother, my mom, and so he had an accent also. He used to take me for walks in the park when I was 5 or 6 in Montreal. And one day he talked to everybody, which is probably where I got that from. And one day I asked him, and I'm Jewish, I said, call him Zeta. I said, Zeta, how do you know all these people? And he said, well, one day I smiled at one and they smiled back at me. And then they started talking to me. So I talked to them. And then another one smiled, and so on and so forth. And I understood it as a 5-year-old would, but I really got it that he was influenced and being influenced at the same time by something as simple as that started with a smile.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing how we get influence without realizing that we are. Because I think, today we have all this army of fake influencers on TikTok or stuff, where they're just doing unethical marketing. It's BS. And the true influencers, you realize that they've been when you get older and you look back at your life, right? So if you ask me who's influenced me in my life, I probably have more than 3, but I'll be quick. And probably like a lot of people, and I'll say my mother, but she was an influencer not just to me, but I think for everybody she was in contact with. And that's what I heard recently, because she passed away actually 1.5 years ago. But she was at a very young age, very modern, ahead of her time, not conforming to cliches and boxes people wanted to put her into. She was really leading by example, as we say today, but not that she knew the term, but she was showing what to do, not telling what to do. And that's, I realized that I've learned that through her. She was loving, not judging. I always heard my mom saying, don't listen to people who are just giving you those certitudes about, this, the thing should be this or that way, just be. So she was loving people and their differences, and always running away, including, away from religion and other, groups or thoughts that give you certitudes. She never believed in that. And she transmitted, she taught me, she taught my so many things that, music, opera, to me and my sisters, things that I've learned and then transmitted. So this transmission, not accumulation, is also something I've learned a lot from. It influenced me a lot.
Love it.
Right. Yeah, the mother, I think we all are influenced for the good or bad, but by our parents. Then there are 2 writers. I'm not going to go into a lot of details, but one has passed away. She was 86. That's Maria Angelou. I could go on and on about her, how, she had a message of hope beside a difficult life, which, again, is so humbling. I read her in English and in French, at first in French, then in English. Resilience, self-love. She was just amazing. I mean, everybody knows her, a bit less in France, but here, amazing. And another writer who is very much alive, she must have dual citizenship, Senegalese and French. Her name is Fatou Diome. Probably not known in the US, but she's an amazing writer and politician. She's a political philosopher, she's not into politics, but she has an amazing analysis, very clear, simple analysis of what identity is, or dual identity in countries where there's a lot of immigration and stuff, right? So she is challenging France, but using France's own philosophy, what makes France France, and say, guys, you got to be, honest about who you are and not be narrow-minding the way you are today. So she does an amazing job. If you read French, again, you should read Fatou Diome.
No, that's beautiful. Yeah. That's beautiful. I got to know about her. I do know. I think maybe my favorite quote of all time is from Maya Angelou, when she said something to the effect that most people forget what you said, most people forget what you've done, but they'll always remember how you made them feel.
Yeah, exactly. Well, as a marketer, I don't want to do, but yeah, that's exactly how we think. Yeah.
Exactly. So thank you so much for sharing that. Really appreciate it.
No problem, Mark.